All right, great stuff. That's New World Sun, and they'll be one of the featured bands, along with Third Day and others, at a unique upcoming event called Refuelfest. Here with us are the visionaries for that event and founders of Off the Street Ministries in Delhi, Ontario, Chris and Gemma Ney. Welcome.
Welcome, guys.
Good morning.
Good to have you.
Well, I'm sure you're really looking forward to an event. You had one last year and another one coming up this summer that we'll talk about soon in June. Maybe it's not quite into the summer, but it'll be an outdoor thing, and we'll talk about that and give some information in a moment. But we want to get to know you a little bit because you guys kind of stepped out in faith and just started saying, we want to do something to help the community, especially young people, help get them off the street in your town. Tell us a little bit about Off the Street Ministries.
Well, how that started, we moved into town and bought a house right in the middle of town, basically, and we seen there was nothing for these kids to do. For the kids whose families didn't have a lot of money to put them in hockey and soccer and stuff, they had to just roam the streets. And so God really put the burden on our heart to fill a little bit of a need of what we could. And so we opened up, we rented the school, a public school in Delhi, opened up the gym for sports, and give the kids a 15-20 minute gospel message every week.
Wow.
Now, Gemma, you two have 3 children of your own. Now, your kids are a little younger. How old are your kids?
7, 8, and 9.
7, 8, and 9. But this outreach really is geared more towards teenagers, high schoolers, or do you have a broad age range?
There's a very broad age.
All right.
Since the new year of this year, we've had to separate the nights because we had such a different age group. So from 6:30 to 7:30, we've got kids from 4 to 11, and then from about 8 o'clock to 9:30, we've got our junior high and high school kids.
Now, does this happen all throughout the year, not just when you bring big bands in, or is
Oh no, this starts from September to June, from the time the school allows us to rent the gym.
Gemma, how many kids might be showing up? I know there's 2 different nights and 2 different cities where you do these weekly events. How many may show up?
Well, we have on attendance about 120 kids between the 2 places, but average about 60 kids a night. So
Great.
It can get loud.
It can get loud, I'm sure it can. I was asking you earlier, you know, this is at a public high school, but you rent it out yourself. So does that mean that you are free to share whatever is on your heart to share with these kids who come?
Absolutely, yeah. We don't hold anything back with these kids, and they don't want it held back. They're searching for something, and you know, there's a lot of things for them to find, and we're just trying to point them or steer them in a direction to Jesus and let Him do the rest of the work.
Absolutely. I heard someone say once that it's not good enough to tell kids what to say no to. You've got to give them something bigger to say yes to. And what you're saying is say yes to Jesus, because in Him is life better than you've ever imagined.
Oh, amen.
Yeah.
Well, you as a couple certainly said yes. This is a big commitment for you guys. You know, by trade, Chris, you're a carpenter.
Yes, sir.
And but just kind of you're saying on the side, you felt God leading you into this and to make it into a ministry. And so, you know, you were even up until January, you were framing.
Still swinging a hammer.
Yeah, all right. Good stuff.
right.
Now, tell us about the event coming up. What's it called again?
Refuelfest.
Refuelfest.
Refuel 09 is this year. That started from our youth group. We started a year ago with a small band in the high school gym we rented, and we had about 80 kids come out to that. And so how it went from there was we thought, well, why don't we do like a local worship battle of the bands just to see if we get a couple hundred kids out. And we were looking for a headliner, just somebody that was up and coming, and so we put the emails out there, and then we got a response from Casting Crowns, which turned the event from like this to up here. And you know, they said, what are you wanting to do? We explained to them it's community outreach, and this is something to show our youth how big our God can be. And it did that. I mean, they just came. We stepped out in faith on that, and God answered every time there was a need.
Wow. And so this year is called Refuelfest again, and it's in June. And who do you have coming out?
Friday night we've got Third Day headlining. Saturday we've got Skillet and New World Sun's going to be out. So we've got quite a lineup, about 15 bands in 2 days.
Okay, I see 2 different dates. There's an April 3rd date in Windsor.
Yeah, that's kind of a pre-promotional tour. Skillet's going to bring their Comatose tour up so we can kind of promote Refuel at their show.
Okay,
right.
And then the big event is 2 days, June 12th and 13th, outdoor in Delhi, Ontario, with all the bands being there. And so there's some information. It'd be a great event if you know a young person that would like something to do, that is better than being on the street for sure.
I want to read the phone number just in case you can't see it. It's kind of small there, 1-226-208-0021, or the website is refuelfest.com. It says for ticket info, so tickets, you're selling tickets for this?
Yeah, we're starting right now with the youth groups and outreach as a fundraiser for them. And then once, I think about middle of April, we start basically online ticket sales, and we'll go crazy from there.
Great.
Great.
Well, Chris and Gemma, God bless you and all that
you.
you're doing for the young people in your area and with this big event coming up.
And I'm sure you're an inspiration to other people across the country to say, you know what, we need to get something like that going for our young people because they need something to do. So we want to encourage you to do